What's up guys, welcome to the channel and welcome to another top 10, and today we're going to go over the 10 most expensive games on the Nintendo DS. And when it comes to handheld gaming systems like the DS, the Vita, the PSP, that's the best way for me to experience some of those 30, 40, 100 plus hour RPGs. So let's check out the 10 most expensive DS games of 2019. Alright, so we're already starting off with a banger. At number 10 we have Castlevania Order of Ecclesia. I believe that's how you pronounce that. This is an awesome game, and you know, we're at the time now in 2008, 2009 when this game was released that the Castlevania games have RPG elements, so to speak. This game is great. All the DS Castlevania games are great. This one just happens to be the most expensive. I recommend if you find this game, pick it up. I found it card only. I actually have a copy of it at work with me because I play this game all the time. It's a great game. You know, if you find it card only, pick it up. You know, it doesn't have to be complete. It doesn't have to be, but if you want it complete, it's going to cost you $100, making Castlevania Order of Ecclesia the 10th most expensive Nintendo DS game of 2019. At number 9, we have My World, My Way. Now, I've heard of this game. Hell, I've heard other YouTubers talk about this game, mention this game. I might even have watched a review on this game a while back. I've heard this is an easy game. It's a game that Atlas brought over here, so you know, some Atlas stuff can get kind of rare, collectible, expensive, you know, whatever you want to call it. They're just one of those companies that port good Japanese games. A lot of good ones over here for us, you know, people in other parts of the world that don't speak Japanese. It looks like this has a dungeon crawling kind of battle system to it, dungeon crawling, you know, kind of game. I don't know. I've never played this game. I've heard it's more on the easy side for kids, I guess, that want to get into RPGs or dungeon crawlers. I don't know. This isn't the kind of game I'm going to pick up for big money. If I find it cheap, I mean, yeah, if it's an RPG, I'll pick it up. But if you want a physical copy of My World, My Way on the Nintendo DS complete, it's going to cost you $115, making it the 9th most expensive DS game of 2019. At number 8, we have Little Red Riding Hood Zombie Barbecue. Now, everyone's talking about this game. They have for years, and this is known to be a rare, collectible, and expensive game on the Nintendo DS. As a matter of fact, and I have no idea why, but every retro store I go in, I feel like at least once a week, I hear somebody asking the store clerk, at whatever store I'm at, if they have a copy of this game. And I think I've seen it card only at GameStop for like $23. Never bought it. Damn, I should have. I've always wanted to play this game, especially now that people are talking about it. It looks cool. I mean, it's like a rail shooter, and I love shoot 'em ups, although this isn't a shoot 'em up. It's like a rail shooter, kind of like run and gun rail type of shooter. I like it. It looks cool. It looks like a fun game. Can't wait to play it. I'm going to find it one of these days. One of these days, it will be mine. But if you do want a complete version of Little Red Riding Hood Zombie Barbecue on the Nintendo DS, be prepared to spend $120, making it the 8th most expensive DS game of 2019. Okay guys, so I'm excited about this one. At number 7, we have Super Robot Taisen OG Saga Endless Frontier. I'm just going to start off and say, this is one of my top 3 RPGs of all time on any system. It's by far my favorite DS RPG ever. So I love this DS game. This is my favorite handheld RPG of all time as well. This is a great game. It revolves around a guy named Haken Browning, who's pretty much, he's a badass character. He has a sidekick named Ashen, who's pretty much like a sexy android with big boobs, and you know, there's a lot of fan service in this game. Well, not as much as like a Compile Hearts game, but you catch my drift. The battle system in this game is awesome. If you like games like Valkyrie Profile with a turn-based, timing-based battle system, this game's got you covered. Now, that type of battle system isn't typically my favorite, but when you play it in a game like this, it is a refreshing battle system when you're so used to turn-based, menu-based systems, which are actually my favorite. But anyway, this game's story good, graphics good, the sound is excellent, the story's great. You need to go find this game, even if it's card only. I had a few extra copies of this game actually, because when I found it I would buy it, because if it was cheap, I was hoarding copies of this game. But I've recently sold them all to people that wanted copies of it. The last one I sold to a guy I met on Instagram. It was in another country too, so I'm glad somebody is taking, a few people actually are taking enjoyment of my hoard of Super Robot Taisen OG Saga Endless Frontier games on the DS. Anyway, if you want a complete copy of this game, and it comes in like a cardboard box with a soundtrack, and it's like a little collector's edition, but if you want that complete, It's going to cost you $130, making Super Robot Taisen OG Saga Endless Frontier the 7th most expensive Nintendo DS game of 2019. At number 6, we have Dokapon Journey, and this game, just like Little Red Riding Hood's Zombie Barbecue, is known for being a rare, expensive, and collectible game on the Nintendo DS. Now, the battle system on this game looks like it's a card-based battle system, which really isn't my thing. Those Batten Kratos games on the GameCube are about as close as I get to that type of battle system. And it also looks like they incorporate board game elements in this game, so this really, just based on the footage, doesn't look like the kind of game I would really get into. But I do know this, if you're willing to buy this card only, you can sometimes find them at GameStop. Look online, check their website, and figure out what stores have them. Anyway, if you want a physical copy, complete copy of Dokapon Journey on the Nintendo DS, it's going to cost you $145, making it the 6th most expensive Nintendo DS game of 2019. At number 5, we have Kutsu, and Kutsu, just like Super Robot Taisen OG Endless Frontier, is a game that I'm really excited to talk about. I love the Kutsu game, although I don't own it on the DS. I do have it on the PS4, and I'm pretty sure I have a copy on the Xbox 360. As a matter of fact, that was one of the first import games that I got for the 360, and then soon realized that yes, region locking is a thing on the Xbox 360. But there's ways around that. That's for another video. But yeah, Kutsu is an excellent cave game. As a matter of fact, it's one of their best, in my opinion. I mean, it's not the most colorful or, graphically stunning game that Cave's ever made, but it does perfect the spread shot, focus shot mechanic, at least in my opinion, and the way they incorporate the hit guard in the game, which is pretty much is when a bomb hits you, or an enemy projectile hits you, you drop a bomb, so to speak. So pretty much if you have 6 bombs in your stock, it's really like having 6 lives for every 1 life that you have. Just the mechanics are just off the hook in Kutsu, and it sucks that we didn't get this over here, because this is a Japanese game, but it is region free, at least it should be. Every Japanese DS, not 3DS, but DS game I've ever played on a DS, 3DS, or 3DS XL worked fine, so you should be good to go. Anyway, if you want a physical, and this game actually has like a little collector's edition with a cardboard box and a soundtrack, but if you want a physical version of Kutsu on the Nintendo DS, it's going to cost you $150, making it the 5th most expensive Nintendo DS game of 2019.
Time to make your peace.
At number 4, we have Sands of Destruction now. Other than the Robot Taisen game, other than that, I feel like Sands of Destruction is the biggest underrated hidden gem on the system. Outside of Robot Taisen and Radiant Historia, but everyone knows about Radiant Historia. Anyway, Sands of Destruction, it's got the Sega branding on the logo, so the first thing I think of when I see that is like the Genesis, the Sega Saturn, and Sega CD RPGs like Shining Force at the time. And the way this game plays and the way it's voice acted, it plays a lot like a PS1 era RPG. So people like me that are almost 40 years old that grew up playing PS1 era RPGs like Lunar and games like that, this game, you're going to love this game. And it kind of sucks that it's gone up in value so much, so I recommend finding it card only. But if you want a complete physical version of Sands of Destruction on the Nintendo DS, and sometimes you can find it cheaper, but normally in 2019 it's going to cost you $160, making it the 4th most expensive Nintendo DS game of 2019. At number 3, we have Pokemon Heart Gold. Now, I'm going to be the first to say, I've never played a Pokemon game ever in my life. I've heard good things, though. I mean, I love RPGs, so maybe I should try one out. And look at the battle going on screen right now. It looks so intense. Makes me want to play a Pokemon game. And I guess it's fun to play with other people. I guess fight your Pokemon. I guess it's like out here in Baltimore, people fight pit bulls. They fight Pokemon other places. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know much about Pokemon. I do know that even when I was in high school, and I am 37, I think I'm 37, I think I turned 38 this year, so I'm close to 40. Anyway, when I was in high school, Pokemon stuff was popular, the cards and the games on the Game Boy Color, so that's been around for a long time. And I remember in high school I learned that Pokemon means pocket monster in Japanese, and I always thought that was interesting. But if you want a physical, and I guess this came in like a box with like a collector's edition, I don't know. I mean, guys, I'm sure you know about this if you love Pokemon. You can correct me in the comments below. But if you want a physical version complete, I guess, Pokemon Heart Gold, it's going to cost you $170, making Pokemon Heart Gold the 3rd most expensive Nintendo DS game of 2019. At number 2, we have Solo to Robo Red the Hunter. Now, this is a fun little action RPG where you're an animal and you're inside of a mech suit, and you can pretty much engage in combat while you're in the mech suit, but when you have to solve puzzles and take care of little things that you have to do quickly, you can do that by jumping out of the mech suit and taking care of those things, and then jumping in the mech suit, and then more battle. So that's pretty much the mechanics of it. But for some reason, yeah, I guess it's probably because back in the day I played Mario 64, not only on the Nintendo 64, but also on the Nintendo DS. And the way the open world environments kind of are on this game, it really reminds me of Super Mario 64. But the mech suit thing reminds me of Misadventures of Trombone. Anyway, if you want a complete physical version of Solo to Robo Red the Hunter, and it does come with a soundtrack and like a little cardboard box if you're fortunate enough to find that. But if you want that, it's going to cost you $180. Making it the second most expensive DS game of 2019. Okay guys, at number 1 we have Pokemon Soul Silver. What makes Soul Silver more expensive than Heart Gold? I have no idea, but they look very similar. The packaging looks the same, the graphics look the same, I guess the battle system's the same. I don't know, I've never played a Pokemon game like I said earlier. But, you know, it looks like both of these come with a Pokewalker thing that I guess enables you to level your Pokemon up as you're moving around and walking throughout the day, which is pretty cool because that means whatever you're doing through the day, you can level your Pokemon up. So I feel like that's pretty cool to level up something in an RPG when you're actually not playing the game. Anyway, if you want a complete physical version of Pokemon Soul Silver in 2019, it's going to cost you $190. Making Pokemon Soul Silver the most expensive Nintendo DS game of 2019. So what did you guys think? This is a pretty cool list, and at least to me, the DS, it's up there with the PSP. And as a matter of fact, I bring a new 3DS XL with me everywhere I go. I have a little kit. As a matter of fact, with me right now, I have Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow, Nano Stray 2, and Radiant Historia. Not to mention the Sands of Destruction that's actually inside of my DS. And as far as all the games on this list, let's just see what I got on this list. So yeah, I probably got most of those games, I want to say 3 or 4 years ago when they were a lot cheaper. You know, some of these games really blew up, like that Sands of Destruction, like that's crazy. I remember when that game went for 15, 20 bucks. And you know, something I've really been thinking about, the only reason I really keep my Wii U around, like yeah, I bought, you know, the Axiom Verge for it and all that, but I'm hoping one day someone will make an awesome DS emulator that'll use the screen on the touchpad as the dual screen, like one on the TV screen, one on the touchpad. You can swap them, or maybe put both on the touchpad or both on the TV screen. I mean, something like that might exist, and if it does, let me know in the comments down below, because I would love to like mod my Wii U to be able to do that. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you like the video, and if you like awesome video games, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Till next time, peace out.